A white man today at the YMCA told me to get off of a machine because he so-called was using a machine when he wasn't. As I was approaching the machine was actually vacant. Okay? So he says, I was using that machine. I said, no, you weren't, because there was no one there. You were on another machine, right? So he tried to use intimidation tactics and tried to antagonize me to get off of the machine. And I stood my fucking ground and I looked directly at him and I said that I will not get off this machine because I pay for this membership as well as you do. And you don't own the fucking gym. You don't own this gym, so you don't tell me what to do. So fast forward, he's extremely pissed off and he's running around there just throwing weights around. He looks as though he is agitated. So again, I'm finished with my reps on that machine. So I go to the other side of the gym and I started doing some lateral pull downs. Now this was supposed to be my leg day, but I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit, right? So I started doing lateral pull downs. So as I'm doing that, I am scanning the gym and I see him talking to this girl and I'm just looking around. I said, okay, I'm assuming that it's his girlfriend, because again, I got one eye open with him because he was slamming stuff around and I don't know what he is capable of, right? So he says something to her and she walks over to me and says, hey, I was using that machine. So at this point, I'm pissed the off and I'm saying, okay, I said, you know what? I said, leave me the fuck alone. I said, I know he sent you over here to with me because he did the same shit over there, but I'm gonna need for you to leave me the fuck alone and back the fuck away from me. I said, I am using this machine and you're not. So I forgot to add that when she approached me about the machine that she was not on, she was on the other side of the gym. He was standing in behind her as if he was protecting her, even though I know that he sent that bitch over there to say something to me. You understand? So one thing led to another. So at this point, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel highly threatened because I am the only black woman in there. And there is a white man and it is a YT woman. And they look like they're not standing down. So I grabbed a weight and I said, look, don't you take another mother step towards me. And I genuinely mean that.
Now, this is pretty wild. Now, I give it to you. This is pretty wild, but we got to hear a little bit more, right? Because once y'all hear the second part, it's going to be, you're going to be like, bro, what in the world, right? What in the world? And we should have known, right? We should have known we got another brick lady in the sense of how the whole situation is going. This is just the backstory, just how the person is to some degree. I'm not going to say she is the brick lady, but I will say, man, when you kind of go back to her TikTok, you kind of like, okay, I see the type of sister that you are here right now. But just looking at what she just stated, I mean, I had a whole situation. Where I was working out just at Crunch Fitness, and I stopped going there because Crunch Fitness is just really not worth it, to be honest with you. But I'm over here at Crunch Fitness. I'm over here. I mean, and one of the reasons why I stopped being there, one of the reasons I stopped going there is because it gets so packed at a certain time. It gets so packed. The whole reason everybody goes to Crunch Fitness is because, number one, it's a new gym, but also it's a lot of equipment. But it's hard to be able to be in there, right, when you got tons and tons and tons of people there taking up all the equipment. It just kind of defeats the purpose, right? So the bigger you go, the more people come, the more machines be taken up. So it's really not worth it. However, I'm sitting over here looking for a machine. I happen to find a machine. Now, it's one of those racks. It's one of those machines, man, where I guess it's like 4 workouts connected to one machine. So you can do your rolls where you sit down and you bring the weight to your chest. You got one where you can do your lat pull downs, and then I believe on either side it's where you can work on your traps if you really want to, or you want to do some curls. Y'all know what machine I'm talking about. I'll put it up here on the screen for you. But you had a Hispanic couple. They're both working out on the machine. One is using the lat pull downs while the other one is, I guess, using the row machine. So I'm like, okay, well, hey, is there anybody right here? I'm looking to work on my triceps. Is anybody right here? I look at both of them. I ask everybody in the area. Every last person said no. That is, it's open. It's open game. Okay, cool. So I'm over here working out, doing my thing. Then we end up having a trainer, right? She's Hispanic as well, but she's one of those Hispanics, man, that were like, I guess that you could tell she has a fake body. She really cared about her appearance, but you could tell she works out, right? But I'm over here working out and I kind of see it from my peripheral. So I don't know. I just kind of felt like she was going to say something to me anyway. So I don't care. I'm still working out. She comes and she says, hey, well, we were using this machine. I'm looking back at them and I'm like, well, no, that's not what they told me. But before I could even say that, she interrupted me again. She went straight to it and said, no, somebody's already on this. And I said, okay, well, that's not what they said. So she tries to go to her and pretty much try to confirm that and say, hey, well, did y'all say that? Did y'all say that? So, the chick over here, I'm like, how the hell you don't know? You just told me. So I said, hey man, listen, no. Listen, what I'll do is I'm gonna finish my 2 sets. Now I'm gonna take my time with this shit, but I'm gonna finish my 2 sets and then y'all can have it. But to sit up here, man, and that I'm already on this machine, you've already verified with them that they were not on the machine and they said, hey, it's cool for me to have the machine. Bro, there's nothing else that you need to say besides wait for me to get done. But it's the entitlement. It's the entitlement, trying to do something, man, to piss you off, to try to do something to make you mad. So I can see where she's coming from. But where she messed up is by picking up that weight. So, and the reason I say that is because it could go left, and we already know how society is, right? We already know how society is.
So everybody's looking at us, and then next thing you know, the employees walk over and say, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 this and the third. She immediately tried to play victim, or all I was asking her, no, you was trying to intimidate me. You and your narcissistic boyfriend was trying to intimidate me. He got mad and he got triggered and he was all in his ego because I would not stand down from this man. So he sent you as if you gonna motherfucking do something and you're not. And like I said before, I told them, get the from me. Y'all, I picked up a weight and everything. Anyway, I say all this to say this. There were 2 black men present when I was getting into it with these people, okay? This big buff ass 300-pound white male was walking towards me, as well as his girlfriend was also walking towards me, and they sat there and didn't say a fucking word. And guess what? They seen what happened. They seen what happened in the beginning when this man told me to get the hell off the machine. And you know what they did? They sat there like fucking cowards. They sat there like fucking cowards. And black men, I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is why nobody respects you. Let me just say that, some of you, this is why this is why no one respects you and nobody is respecting your women either. This is why that video went viral with that man calling them black women a hard ER and calling them all type of bitches and shit, and y'all sat there like 3 little stooges and was laughing and thought the shit was fucking funny. Y'all are not respected nowhere. Do you hear me? The gall, the audacity of you to just sit there, and watch a big, strong, white male walk towards a black woman as if he finna knock her fucking head off. Y'all some. You notice, okay, when the white woman walked towards me, the white male was standing behind her, even if he knew she was wrong, because he knew she was wrong. But because it's the principle behind certain things, he knew to still protect her, regardless of her being wrong or right. And this is something that you black men cannot grasp. You know why? Because you spend all mother online arguing about 50-50 and arguing about what black women ain't doing, and everything is fucking black women fault. The whole time they out here antagonizing and fucking intimidating black women in public, and we do not feel safe and we do not feel protected.
Cry me a river, go on and cry me a river, baby, you gonna cry me a river, baby, go on and cry me a river, cry me a river, cry me a river.
The bitter reality is, black women, you are alone. You are by yourself and you are not protected. Because the real is overpowered. Okay, they are overpowered by these tap dancing ass. Point blank. Period. Woo, child, y'all had a day y'all deserve.
So she was so upset that she said, now from what I heard early in the video, she said there was no other black people up in there. But she then all of a sudden she said there was 2 black men sitting down, and now all of a sudden, hey, well, you know, they this, they that, they didn't even want to help me out. They didn't want to do this. I mean, once again, we're still expecting men. We're still expecting men, black men, to go out the way to go help somebody that they're not even obligated to help. Now, once again, would it be the right thing to do for a man to go help out a sister? Yes. Yes. But sad thing about it is today, most of your sisters dislike black men. That is just a fact. That is just a fact. They tolerate black men. And towards the end of that video, you really saw how she really felt towards black men. Now, she tries to sit here and say some, but we already know you're blanketing all men because you're saying, hey, well, you know, when y'all go out here, this is why nobody respects you. This is why nobody cares about y'all. Well, what are we talking about here? Just because some men didn't even want to help you, probably seem as if your situation was already taken care of, or it could be de-escalated from yourself. But here's the thing. Let's hear it from the man's side. We will always sit here and allow these women to come up on the internet and trash us, lie, and push narratives, and we don't ever hear from the man's side of the story. And this is why I say it's like the brick lady. Because when you look at the brick lady, she sat here, first of all, she lied on black men, but then she sat here and was saying that, hey, well, you know, her whole premise of that whole video was, you know, your black men don't do anything for us. And what do black women say? Your black men don't protect black women. Your black men don't do this. Your black men don't do that. But then when you go to her TikTok, she is disrespecting black men. She is saying, well, we women don't need black men. So then why are you going to sit here and then say that, hey, well, you know, no black men wanted to help me? You never wanted help from any black men.
You ever fuck with Breonna Taylor ever again? Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch.
Hope every black woman is kissing another black woman, because we are the innate protectors and the providers. We protect societies, we protect communities with our intellectual property, with our lived experiences, with our breast milk, with our bodies. We're the ones. And the 2. Bitch, not even the 3. Because men are not providers and protectors, not innately, because they only protect what they possess. But we protect everybody, and we provide, baby, okay? So I hope you catch a girl tonight, because I hope I do. Ew. And don't forget, before there was feminism, it was lesbians who were living those lives without worried about niggas. Like, they were not worried about niggas. They were decentering men. So before there was feminism, there were lesbians.
That's the whole point. You never want to help from any black men. That's the issue that we're running into with a lot of your sisters today, with a lot of your women in general. Y'all expect help from a man, but then turn around and bash them on the internet. But of course, no man is going to know that she is passive aggressive towards black men unless they go on TikTok. But I doubt they're going to sit here, look at the situation that you're in, then pull up on the phone on TikTok to see, okay, well, let's see if she really cares about black men. Because sadly, that's what we have to start doing. Sadly, that's what we're going to need to start doing, because we're not going to keep having sisters like this sit here and then try to make it seem as if black men are an issue. You're talking about a very small portion of black men that we even tell women to stay away from. But hey, guess what? They want to blanket black men as a whole and say, well, this is why nobody respects y'all. This is why this is why that. Ma'am, they don't have to put their life on the line for you. They don't have to do any of that. Is that something that we should do, right? Well, do you want to sit here and see your sister getting bullied by some folk? No. But in this day and age, too many sisters, way too many sisters have this type of sentiment. Y'all black men ain't this. Y'all black men ain't this. Y'all black men terrible. Y'all black men don't like to protect. But then y'all turn around and go on the internet just to trash men even more. But yet y'all expect help from them. That's ridiculous. You can't trash men and then expect help from them. That's not ever going to happen. So what this chick needs to do, she needs to go on her Instagram. She needs to go on her TikTok and delete all those videos. Prime example, this video.
If you are in the military and they tell you that there is a field full of landmines, right? And they said that some of these landmines are activated and some of these landmines are not activated, right? So when you go out there with your posse, you're going to automatically proceed with caution. Meaning, I'm not finna step on none of these motherfuckers because I don't know if it's gonna blow my mother off. So I'm gonna do the smart thing to walk over these landmines, right? Stay with me. Now, when Deontay Kyle came up here and told y'all needed to be accountable, he said that not all men are like the bear in the forest, but some of them are. And because some of them are like the bear in the forest, we had to proceed all of them with caution. It is your job. It is your job. Let me say this again. It is your job. Let me say this again. It is your job. It is your job to make a woman feel safe. It is your job, okay, to be that representation that you want to be. That is your job. I'm gonna give you another example. I know that it's a bunch of bonnet babies running around this mother, and I know that's not me. I know I don't present myself like that, right? But it is my job to present myself as such the way I want to be perceived. And I'm not offended by it because I know that's not who I am.
Oh, really? Prove it.
I just know I need to work harder. Okay? I know I need to work harder to be represented a certain way. That makes sense to y'all?
Overall, black men hold themselves accountable. Overall, most black men are ones, man, that you can actually lay down with, have children with, and actually have a family with. But once again, you have women like this who want to monetize and try to make a name off of downing black men, off of trying to use the idea that, hey, well, you know what, I can be this woman that holds men accountable, because that's what it seems like on TikTok. That's what a lot of your women adore. That's what a lot of your women love. They love women who can sit here and hold men accountable. When once again, most of your black men are held accountable. Most of your black men move in the right direction that they're supposed to be moving in. It's just that we have black women like herself. I'm gonna just call it for what it is. Black woman like herself that's going to glorify the small group of men that we tell women do not deal with. But hey, guess what? They want to have their own life. They feel like they can change these men, so they have kids with them. They end up marrying them, and they end up having a disaster of a life, and then they want to point fingers back at black men. When no, it's what y'all women are choosing. But this passive aggressive behavior has got to stop. Understand that we are in a different time where black men are seeing how we are being treated as a whole in a society, and men ain't going for it. Men are not going for it. Men are not about to sit over here and interject themselves into a situation where they can end up losing their life for an ungrateful sister. We have way too many ungrateful sisters. When you look at the shade room, people, look at the shade room. So many sisters hate DDG so much that at first, the second Halle Bailey says something, they automatically believe it. But then when you hear the man's side of the story, like I said, you need to hear the man's and hear both of the brothers' side of the story with this system. Everything comes together. Everything comes together. You're like, oh, okay, so here are all the plot holes that she didn't even want to talk about, because guess what? Right? She wants to seem like she's in the good light. She wants to be in a good position here. And that's a tactic that I would say most of your women would use. Y'all black women want to start getting more help from men. Y'all need to change the narrative of how y'all are acting today. Y'all need to change how y'all are acting towards men. Y'all need to change what y'all saying, what y'all do towards men, because being passive aggressive towards black men ain't going to get you anywhere. It's not. Doing stuff like Brick Lady ain't going to get men to protect you, period. Period. And with the amount of disrespect men are receiving from our sisters today, most of your men are saying we're not about to continue to go out our way to put our life on the line for a sister who don't even care about us, really. Just for her to then run on the internet and still trash black men, but then say, well, you know, the men that help me out, they're good black men. Y'all need to be like them. Like, shut up, man. But be quiet, bro. But look, guys, do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Y'all let me know down below. What do y'all think about this?